Hi guys, my name is Michael, and today I want to talk to you guys about, can a good person go to heaven? And the first thing I'm going to say is no, there's no such thing as a good person going to heaven, because everybody has sin in their lives, and with that sin, it starts to separate us from God, and we can't call ourselves a good person just because we do some good nice things, we do some good things, but that doesn't make us a good person, because our good and God's good are totally different. And I hear many people saying, I'm a good person, so I'm going to go to heaven. It's not, being good doesn't get you into heaven, because when we sin, it goes against God. So how can we call ourselves a good person? Ecclesiastes 7:20 says, there isn't anyone on earth who does only right and never sins. A sin is that something that goes against God, which is lust, stealing, adultery, which is like adultery. It's a lot of things. There's many more, false testimonies, many things that go against God. There's a lot more, but it's just a sin. It's just something that goes against God, and that's why we can't call ourselves a good person, because we do things that goes against God, and that's why we can't call ourselves a good person. And if we just call ourselves a good person, think we're gonna get to heaven, we're not gonna get to heaven. Cause let's say you went to somebody's house and you knocked on the door. Well, let's say I went to somebody's house and I knocked on the door, and they opened it, and I said, hey, I'm gonna come here because I'm a good person. They're not gonna let me in because I haven't gained that relationship with them just so I can walk into their house. I haven't gained a relationship with them. So guess what? They're gonna kick me straight out because I haven't gained the relationship with them. That's how God is. When you meet God, either when you die or Judgment Day or the Rapture, not the Rapture, no, or on Judgment Day, you can't just say I'm a good person. Hey, I've been a good person. He's not gonna let you in because first you didn't accept Jesus. That's the main thing, and you gotta gain a relationship with him. Because how can you enter into God's house and say, I've been a good person? He's not gonna let you in, because heaven is God's house. He's not gonna let you in because you haven't gained a relationship with him and you haven't accepted Jesus. That's why when Jesus came to die for us, John 14:6 says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. That's Jesus stating real clear that the only way to get to heaven is through him. And many people just don't want to believe in Jesus. And what do you have to lose? Can you afford to be wrong when you die? See, I can't afford to be wrong. That's why Jesus clearly states in the Bible that he's the only way to heaven. And people just gotta believe that and trust in him, that he died for him, and that you're gonna go to heaven. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I have to trust in him. And now lately, my relationship with him has been growing a lot more and more. And if you just believe that he died for you, man, your eternity is secure. Because once you die, you step out of time to eternity, and it's either heaven or hell. If you don't go to heaven, it's hell. There's no in between. That's why accept Jesus. Nothing wrong with that. What do you have to lose? Can you afford to be wrong? And many people believe this. A lot of I've been seeing it, that many people believe that there's multiple ways to heaven, and there isn't. Because let's say I was going to a friend's house, and he was giving me straight directions of how to get to his house. Say turn left on Brown Street, then make a right, go down Highway 7, then make a right, then you're there. But I believe, man, there's many ways to heaven. I'm gonna go right on 2nd Street, go this way, go that way, and I'm taking many directions because I believe there's many ways to his house, but he's giving me specific directions about you can get to his house. That's how God is. He's saying Jesus is the only way to heaven, and many people are believing that there's multiple ways to heaven, and Satan is fooling them that there's multiple ways to heaven. Being a good person doesn't get you to heaven. That's what Satan's tricking many people with, that. Being a good person doesn't get you to heaven. So why did Jesus come? If you were a good person, if you're a good person, that means you were right with God. Like, no one's a good person because we sin. We do things that are against God. We do things that displease him, and we can't just say that we're gonna go to heaven because I'm a good person. You really have to think about what have you been doing, because everybody on this earth sins. Not one person on this earth uh, goes without sinning for the rest of their life. That's not a thing. In John 10:28 says, okay, it says, I give them eternal life, and they will never die. No one can steal them out of my hand. My Father has given them to me is greater than anyone. No one can steal them out of my Father's hand. I and the Father are one. That's the thing. So once you accept Jesus into your heart and to accept that He died for you and you're gonna go to heaven, nothing's gonna take that away. Even if you keep, even if you're struggling with some wrong things in your life, you're struggling with sin in your life, after you accept Jesus, that's not gonna exclude you from heaven. Not like, since you sin, you're not gonna go to heaven anymore. That's not the thing. Because if He, basically Jesus saying it right here, nothing's gonna take you out of His hand. Nothing's gonna exclude you from heaven if you keep sinning. That's why Jesus died for you, because He knew you're gonna keep sinning. He knew you're gonna keep messing up, and how can I say it? You have a chance to change and to live a good life and live a life for Him. And He gave that to us. Like, if you don't want to believe it, that doesn't change what it is. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't change what it is. Nobody went to nobody. Well, some people have, but some people who died and have come back with an encounter with Jesus. But you haven't. Most people, you guys haven't seen what was after death. So how can you know? How can you just say, I don't believe it? I don't believe it. I don't think it's real. Like, you haven't seen it, so how can you just say, I don't believe it? I don't think it's real, and you haven't seen it. And that's why Jesus came to die for you. You just have to believe, and you're all good. You're secure, and that has really changed my life. Even though I'm still stopping some things, Jesus has made Himself more real. Is making Himself even more real to me, and I'm starting to change even more. I've been stopping bad habits. I've been changing, and I've just been living a good life. And there's a lot more, but Jesus, He really helps you. He is real. I know Him personally, and I'm still getting a relationship with Him to make it even better and stronger. And Jesus can do it for you if you just believe. He can help you stop what you're struggling with. He can help you with anything. But yeah, I hope this helped you guys. This is my first time, so I enjoyed it, even if I kept stuttering a little bit. But I hope you guys learned something. I hope I helped some guys. I hope this taught you something, and I'll see you in the later videos I post.